Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dakota Barrows and I'm going to be briefly showing off a mechanic within my level. This mechanic is the altar that opens the door so the player can leave the exit. When the player walks up to the altar and they press E, the knife rises up. Blood sacrifice is committed, the knife goes back down and the door opens up. Now that we have seen it off, let's quickly go over how it works. Let's jump straight into the first part. We need to set up a PBI interact, and we just make it so it's just a normal interact. Nothing else needs to be added to this. If we go over to the first person player character, actually we'll do that part last. Let's go to the altar bowl. If we set up the altar bowl, we'll go into the viewport. We'll see that we made it a cylinder, and we've added a bunch of cones around the sides just to give it some spikes. We've added a trigger box on this side, and we've added 3 other cylinders into the center here that are red. In the event graph at begin play, we're taking those cylinders that are red and we're just making them hidden. And then at begin play, when the player interacts, which is the PBI interact, which is just this, we've added that into it. We add that by going into class settings, and just if we go to class settings, we add it in right here. So anyway, in event interact, we delay 2.3 seconds. We set them all. We unset them for being hidden. We want them to be able to be seen now. We wait 0.1 seconds for each one, and we make that way it looks like it's flowing liquid. It's pretty simple for the altar. If we go over to the knife at begin play, let's look at the viewport again. If we begin play, we're taking this. We're calling this the red. And if we go to the event graph now, and we see that that's the red, we're setting that to be gray, and we're also setting it to be hidden. The static mesh, which is, if we go back to the viewpoint, the static mesh is this, and that is the ghost stone tablet the player will be carrying with them throughout the level. If we go back to the event graph, and we go to the event interact, we see that we're, so we're making sure that that is also hidden. At event begin play, we are making it so it is no longer hidden, and then we are playing the animation to have the knife go up. We are delaying 2 seconds, then the red appears, and we're setting the red material to be red, so that way it looks like blood. We're waiting 0.4 seconds, then we're removing the static mesh again, that way it looks like the player picked up the ghost tablet. We are then playing the animation of the knife going back down. And that is it for how the knife works with the altar. And then we go to the button. The button is literally just a cube. If we go to the event graph, we tell it to delay 2.3 seconds. Then we play an animation of the button getting clicked in. And we're checking for the get all actors of class, which is a PB door. We are getting an array. We are checking the value of the door value and the button value. And if they are the same, then we play the door function. We make sure the button value and the door value are both instantiable, just in case we have more doors and more buttons in the level. Once we go to the PB door, we can see that at begin play, we're hiding the text render. Because within the level, we made it so that on the door, it does let the player know they need to commit a blood sacrifice is required to open the door. If we head down to where we have our open door function or an event trigger function, our interact function, if we read our event interaction, we are showing the text render. We are waiting 0.5 seconds. We have a countdown that starts at 3 and minuses 1 every time the player interacts with it. Once the player reaches 0 on the countdown, we delete the trigger box on the door. That way the player can only interact with the blood sacrifice required 3 times. So when the player clicks on the button, we play the open door function, again, as long as the door value is the same. They're both set to 0 by standard. As long as both door values are the same, we then play this animation, which is the door slowly rising up. And we wait 5.3 seconds, and then we set the door to be hidden, and then we also just remove the collision from the door, and that is how we have set this up. So now if we go over to first person, and we click on the first person, let's go over just the altar bowl. When the player presses E, we are going through a for each loop. The for each loop is checking to make sure that getting the overlapping actors, which is a PB altar door. We are then checking, does this object implement an interface, PBI interact. If it does, then we get the interact message, which allows the alter to do its event interact, which is, again, the delay, show the bleed effect. That way it looks like it is filling with blood. And that is how you set up each individual one. I have the door interacting with the button and the knife interacting with the alter, and all four of these PBIs, all these blueprints are, these five blueprints are really playing off of each other to give the effect of the player picks up the knife, blood sacrifice, fills altar bowl, and the door opens. Thank you for watching. Hope this was informative, and until next time, have a good one, guys. Thanks. Bye-bye.